All right, we'll go ahead and get started again. The first thing I'll talk about is our game this past Saturday against Louisiana Tech, and after having the chance to watch the video, I wouldn't change anything I said immediately after the game. While we did some things better game two than game one, we didn't do enough to win the football game, and that's offensively, defensively, or in the kicking game. We talked defensively about tackling, and that's something that we're going to continue to stress, and that is going to be the number one point of emphasis for us defensively this week. We counted on the video, we had 29 missed tackles that accounted for 196 yards after the missed tackle. So that's unacceptable, and we're not going to stop very many people and win very many football games defensively tackling like that. Offensively, it's about turnovers and protecting the football. And we had the ball on the ground live Saturday night 6 times, and we lost 2 fumbles. And when you lose the turnover battle in a football game, there's a big correlation between who wins the game and who wins the turnover margin. And we gave it back to them twice Saturday night offensively, both times too with good field position. One critically at the end of the game in the fourth quarter around the 20-yard line. And then as a whole, it's about penalties, and way too many penalties. And again, that's the effort is there on some of those defensive penalties and a couple of face masks. The effort's there, and the guy rakes his hand trying to wrap up and comes across the ball carrier's face and gets his hand caught in there for a second, and next thing you know, it's a 15-yard penalty and a first down. They're all being addressed. They have been addressed, and it's something we're working on in a number of ways this week. The thing that stood out in a positive way and a negative way Saturday night is the concept of making plays. I thought we saw some guys that stood out making plays that didn't in our first game, and we also had some opportunities to make plays, and we did not, which cost us. And when we got a chance to catch a football or block a punt and make a big play, swing the momentum, put points on the board, we've got to do that. And again, it's something we're working on this week, specifically those catches, those techniques, those situations. So, again, I was proud of our effort. We took a team that was a conference champion last year, and playing their first game, in my mind, down to the wire. I believe that our players felt like if we get that onside kick at the end, we're going to go down and score a touchdown in the last 30 seconds. I think everybody on our sideline thought that. So, I was proud of them playing 60 minutes and coming back. We were down 22 points, and nobody on that sideline gave up. So, I think we improved, and we're going to have to improve this week. We've got a great challenge ahead of us 4 days from now. So we're going to play a team that's extremely talented. They've got great players, and they're got a lot of momentum right now. Obviously they just beat an excellent Nebraska team, and they've entered the top 25 rankings, and they're at home. It's always hard to play them in the Rose Bowl, and we saw that 2 years ago. I think we went out there 2 years ago, and we were 2-0 and ranked in the top 25, and they were 0-2, and everybody remembers what the outcome of that game was. So our guys are excited about this opportunity. We had a good practice, a spirited practice yesterday. We're going to have a physical practice tonight, and continue to correct the things that we need to get fixed, again, in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams, and finalize the game plan and get ready to go out there and play a talented UCLA football team. Again, offensively for them, you'd like to say they're not balanced, but not only are they extremely balanced, but the statistics they put up in the first two games are ridiculous. You know, they're rushing for 300 and throwing for 300, and they've got a really talented redshirt freshman quarterback in Hundley. He's making great decisions. You know, he's getting in a rhythm early, getting the ball out of his hands. And then they've got Franklin at running back, who's leading the nation in rushing with two consecutive 200-yard games. So, and then their receivers, you know, they got 6'1", 6'2" receivers, and you know, if that's not enough, they split Fourier out, and he's 6'7", and they throw him the football. So they're talented. They're playing three freshmen on their offensive line. And I'd like to see if there's three freshman offensive linemen better than these three. They're massive, they're physical, and they're doing a great job executing right now offensively. You know, defensively, they fly around, and you look at some of the names, and a lot of the names for them defensively are guys we've played the last 2 years. You know, they've got a 6'1" corner and a 6'2" corner, and the Price kid, number 22, his sophomore year, 2 years ago, he shut down, you know, Patrick Edwards, and we were out there in 2010, and he's the 6'2" corner. And they're experienced on defense. The Jones kid at defensive end, you know, the media's been talking about him for 2 years now, and he comes off the ball. He's going to give us everything we want up front. So, and Zumwalt, same thing at linebacker. So. You know, and if you think they don't have it in all three phases, it's no accident right now that they're 2-0 and right in the top 25, because special teams the same way. Is we just played the best punter from last season for Louisiana Tech, and the lock kid for UCLA is as good as there is in the country at punting the football. The return men are dangerous. And, you know, I think when you watch these guys on film, when they get stopped and they run their punt team out, they got Franklin, their running back, running down the field at gunner for them. And that tells me a lot about their team. So it's going to be a big challenge, and our kids are excited about it. So, again, we'll have a 2-hour practice tonight in full pads. It'll be a physical practice. It'll be, again, emphasizing the things we got to get corrected. Ball security offensively, tackling defensively, and addressing the penalties across the board. With that, I'll open it up for questions.
With Franklin, will the defense use more 8 and 9 man fronts to combat the running game?
Well, that's, again, going into this game, they've got a young quarterback who's doing a fantastic job right now. And he's being very efficient with the football. When they choose to throw it, and they do quite a bit, you know, he's getting the ball out of his hands quickly, meaning the routes don't tend to be as far down the field. And, you know, when you look at what makes them go offensively, as balanced as they are, it's their running game, and specifically Franklin. They got a couple of running backs that can go, but obviously he's the headliner, and we've got to stop him. You know, it's what they do best. We got to try to take that away. So, you know, that's going to be the game plan this week. Is we've got to slow down their running attack.
Getting pressure on the quarterback seems to have been a little bit of a struggle early on for you guys. Is there any plans, maybe personnel-wise or schematics, to try to improve on that area?
Both. And you know, we've got to get pressure on the quarterback, and we have not done that with our defensive line rushing the 4, you know. And so we've got to generate that by being creative and bringing other people, bringing linebackers, bringing safeties. We just do, and we've got to make we can't give quarterbacks as much time as we did Saturday night when they're going to throw the football. And when I say both, we're looking at giving some other guys opportunities this week. So, I can't speak right now if there'll be or what the personnel changes could be, but I will know that here in the next 2 days. Again, tonight's practice, and we talked about this as a team last night after practice. Tonight's practice, if there's a couple guys that want to step up and show us they can play and tackle, tonight will be their opportunity to show us in practice.
Coach, most programs on this level don't start freshmen per se, especially at the quarterback position. But apparently, Hundley has been able to adapt and figure it all out 2 games in a row with no issues. What is it that he presents as a threat just on that level mentally?
Well, a couple of things. In no particular order, he was highly recruited out of high school, and which tells you something there. He's extremely talented, and he's got great poise. When you watch him on video, he doesn't look like a redshirt freshman quarterback in their offense right now. That was a big stage. They were just down against Nebraska, and the way he carries himself, handles himself, and around a bunch of guys on that offensive side of the ball, really other than their offensive front that are older than him, seniors and juniors, he's got a great command of the huddle and of the offense. And he's doing a great job with his decision-making. He'll keep the ball and run it. Obviously, he hands it off to Franklin and the other running backs, and then he makes quick decisions and really accurate throws. He's doing a great job, and when you look at the quarterback position and you've got those attributes, you're going to be successful, and it shows right now.
Tony, with that number that you mentioned with the missed tackles, when you looked at it, was there one thing that stood out on why that happened in terms of, was it just arm tackles, or was it, just something that you saw that just you can correct?
It's all correctable, and we started correcting those last night at practice. We're going to continue tonight in full pads, making those corrections. A lot of it is technique, maybe some is personnel, which again we'll look at tonight, and I'll know more on that come Thursday. But guys being out of control, guys ducking their heads. If you duck your head and close your eyes, if you don't see it, you're not going to tackle it. So it was a number of things, and again, we need to get that corrected. And I told the team this: it doesn't matter who we play. When that's the formula for winning games: tackling defensively and holding onto the football offensively. And but those are the areas within the missed tackles. Some may be personnel. We'll know more here in the next 2 days. And then technique-wise, there's going to be a major emphasis tonight, as soon as we're done stretching the first part of practice, on getting those things cleaned up.
Coach, how much of an uphill battle is this kind of for a coach, just in your position, like just trying to bounce back while dealing with a team like this up next? I mean, or is this kind of like the perfect opportunity to get on track?
Well, I think it's a great opportunity, and again, and we've talked about this with our team. It's about us and us improving, and regardless who we're playing Saturday night. And like Joseph just asked, we've got to improve tackling. We've got to hold on to the football. We've got to cut down on the penalties, regardless of who we're playing. That's football, and you see that every week in the National Football League and college football. The teams that win do those things well. The teams that lose don't do those well. So, it's another opportunity for us, and it's a great opportunity to go out there, play a ranked football team. It's a team we beat, last year by 4 points at home in the first game. And, some of the guys on the team, not many, were out there 2 years ago, so we're a little bit familiar with it, but it's a great opportunity. And again, our focus, while we're going to have a great game plan for UCLA, our focus starts with us, and we've got to improve the things within our team to get better.
Hey, Coach, where is your team kind of emotionally, and how do you talk to them about not letting the 0-2 start kind of weigh on them and affect them going forward?
Right or wrong, I hit it head on. We had a team meeting yesterday, and I told them we are and we can be a good football team, and not to listen to anybody outside of our program that doesn't have anything to do with what's going on here or our success. I don't know, and I told them this. I said, I don't know if anyone's talking to you. Maybe your family is, maybe some friends are, maybe you go to class and you hear things. But if you are, don't listen to it. We have a plan, we are improving, and it's evident we're improving. You look at the game Saturday night, and again, I think you're going to look back in 2 months at a Louisiana Tech football team that's won a bunch of football games. I think we just played an excellent football team, and unfortunately, we look back Sunday on the video, and literally a play here, a play there, and the outcome would have been different, And again, I understand you can say that probably every week, but we're seeing the improvement, and we've got to continue to get better, and we've got to continue to tell our kids there is no rah-rah speech, there is no Newt Rockney, here's what we're going to tell you and get everybody fired up. Here's how you win football games. You tackle defensively and create turnovers, and you hold on to the football offensively and move the chains. And when we talk about executing our offense, when a play is there to be made, you make the play. And, we talked as a staff this morning, for instance, one of our young receivers in the first 2 games has had 5 footballs where he's been running across the field, thrown slightly behind him that he's dropped. Is it an ideal throw? No. That's something we're going to work today and not that we haven't worked those, but now that's going to be an emphasis. Hey, we're going to throw the low and behind and the behind passes to this young man and the guys at that position. We're going to work on deep balls with guys riding our receivers down the field full speed and bringing in the deep ball. So we know what we need to improve on. I think, and that's our focus. Is when they're sitting in this team meeting room, fellas, here's what we have to do to win football games. Here is what we have to do and change and fix to be successful moving forward. And their attitude has been good.
Can you talk about your relationship with Noel, just going back to Minnesota?
Coach Mazzoni is their offensive coordinator. He was the quarterback coach at the University of Minnesota when I played there. Kevin Sumlin was the receiver coach. Jim Wacker was our head coach, and he's a extremely well-respected offensive coordinator nationally, and is doing a great job. Really, got a lot of what they're doing there from us, from Dana Holgerson, Cliff Kingsbury, myself, and has put his own stamp on it. But I think when people watch them play, he was at Arizona State the last couple of years as their offensive coordinator. And I think when people watch us play Saturday night, their offense is going to look somewhat familiar to our offense with the motions and the run game they've got and the quick game in the passing game as well. Any other questions? All right, thank you.